Imagine waking up in a bedroom that hangs precariously over a vertical cliff, with nothing but the roaring ocean hundreds of feet below your floorboards. Or how about living in a house that was built upside down, where the chandelier sits on the floor and you walk on the ceiling? Most of us view a home as a sanctuary of 4 solid walls and a steady roof, but for some visionary architects and daring homeowners, those rules simply don't apply. Today, Mr. Benz-Audi is taking you on an extraordinary journey across the globe to witness the impossible. We are counting down 10 of the most bizarre, gravity-defying, and mind-bending houses ever constructed. From a residence wedged between giant boulders in Portugal, to a home so narrow it fits inside a tiny alleyway in Poland. These aren't just buildings. They are dreams turned into stone, glass, and steel. But before we dive into these architectural wonders, I have a small favor to ask. Please leave a comment below letting us know where in the world you are watching this video from and what time it is on your clock right now. We are truly curious to see how many different countries and time zones this video is reaching today. Are you ready to see how creative and crazy humanity can get? Let's get started.
Our journey begins in the Faith Mountains of northern Portugal, where you'll find a structure that looks like it was plucked straight out of the Flintstones or a prehistoric fairy tale. This is Casa de Penedo, more famously known as the Stone House. At first glance, you might think it's just a massive pile of boulders, but look closer and you'll see windows, a door, and even a shingled roof. Built in 1974, this extraordinary home is wedged between 4 enormous granite rocks that serve as the foundation, walls, and ceiling. Inside, the rustic charm continues, with logs used for stairs and furniture carved directly from the stone. Despite its rugged, primitive exterior, the house even features a swimming pool carved into the natural rock. However, life here is a true return to nature. There is no electricity or running water. Originally built as a private holiday retreat, its overwhelming popularity with tourists eventually forced the owners to move out, turning this geological wonder into a small local museum. It stands as a powerful reminder of how human ingenuity can blend seamlessly with the raw beauty of the earth.
Leaving the prehistoric vibes of Portugal behind, we travel to the tiny village of Szymbark in Poland to witness a house that will literally turn your world upside down. This is the Dom do Góry Nogami, or simply, the upside-down house. Here, the roof is buried in the dirt, the foundation points toward the clouds, and you enter the building through the attic windows. It's a sight so disorienting that many visitors report feeling dizzy or even seasick after just a few minutes inside. Everything inside is also inverted. You'll see beds, tables, and even a TV set dangling from what is now the ceiling, while you walk on the floorboards that should be above your head. But this house wasn't built just for the wow factor or a cool photo opportunity. Created by businessman Daniel Chapowiecki, it was intended as a powerful social statement. It represents the uncertainty and the topsy-turvy feeling of the era when communism ended in Poland, symbolizing a world that had been flipped on its head. It took 114 days to build, way longer than a normal house, because the workers were so confused by the bizarre angles that they had to take frequent breaks just to clear their minds.
Next, we head to the sunny French Riviera to explore a masterpiece of futuristic luxury, the Palais Boulle, or Bubble Palace. Perched on the cliffs of Théoul-sur-Mer, this house looks less like a residence and more like a cluster of terracotta-colored bubbles floating against the blue Mediterranean Sea. Designed by architect Antti Lovag and famously owned by the legendary fashion designer Pierre Cardin, this villa was built on a single radical philosophy. The human body has no straight lines, so why should our homes? Spanning over 1,200 square meters, the house is a labyrinth of interconnected circular modules. There are no sharp corners or flat walls here. Everything from the windows to the beds and the hallways is curved and organic. The interior feels like stepping into a space-age grotto, filled with natural light that dances off the rounded surfaces. Outside, the bubbles continue with waterfall-fed pools and a 500-seat outdoor amphitheater overlooking the ocean. It is a playground of imagination where art, fashion, and architecture collide, proving that sometimes thinking outside the box means getting rid of the box entirely. We now return to Poland, but this time to its capital, Warsaw, to squeeze into a space that seems physically impossible to live in. Welcome to the Carrot House, officially recognized as the narrowest house in the world. Tucked away between two large buildings from different historical eras, this structure measures just 92 centimeters at its narrowest point and only 122 centimeters at its widest. It is so slim that you can literally touch both walls just by stretching out your arms. Designed by architect Jacob Szczesny, this house isn't just a quirky stunt. It's a fully functional living space. To make it work, every inch of the interior is painted brilliant white to create an illusion of space, and the floors are connected by simple ladders instead of bulky stairs. It features a tiny kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom with a single bed. Light enters through translucent panels, preventing the occupant from feeling claustrophobic. The house serves as a temporary home for traveling writers and artists, proving that even the most neglected gap in a city can be transformed into a symbol of creativity and modern urban living.
From the narrow streets of Warsaw, we fly across the ocean to Naucalpan, Mexico, to step inside one of the most beautiful examples of bioarchitecture in the world. This is the Nautilus House. As you approach, you aren't greeted by a traditional facade, but by the giant, shimmering shell of a nautilus mollusk. Designed by architect Javier Senociane, this home was built for a young family who wanted to feel integrated with nature, moving away from the box-like structures of modern cities. Stepping inside is like walking into a dream or a submarine from a fantasy novel. The main living area features a lush green garden growing right out of the floor, surrounded by a massive wall of colorful stained glass circles. When the sun hits these windows, the entire interior is bathed in a kaleidoscope of dancing lights and shadows. There are no parallel lines here. The hallways spiral gently, and the furniture seems to grow naturally out of the walls. Living here isn't just about having a roof over your head. It's about living inside a piece of art that breathes and flows, mimicking the perfect proportions found in the natural world. Deep within the wooded ravines of Parenton, New York, sits a collection of structures that look like they've grown out of the earth after a heavy summer rain. This is the Mushroom House, a legendary residence that challenges every traditional concept of home design. Inspired by the stems and caps of Queen Anne's lace, the house consists of 5 interconnected pods perched on top of towering concrete stems. Each pod weighs over 80 tons, creating a silhouette that is both organic and incredibly futuristic. Inside, the magic of the mushroom theme comes to life. The walls are textured with sand and clay to mimic natural caves, and the interiors are decorated with over 9,000 handcrafted ceramic tiles. Huge rounded windows provide 360-degree views of the surrounding forest, making you feel as though you are living in a luxurious treehouse for adults. Because of its unique elevated design, the living spaces are literally floating among the trees, offering a sense of peace and isolation that is hard to find anywhere else. It's a perfect blend of whimsical art and engineering, proving that even a home can have its own personality and soul. If you've ever heard the nursery rhyme about the old woman who lived in a shoe, you might be surprised to learn that such a place actually exists in York, Pennsylvania. Built in 1948 by the shoe wizard, Mahlon Haynes, the Haynes Shoe House was originally a brilliant piece of roadside advertising. Haynes, a successful shoe salesman, handed a work boot to an architect and simply said, "Build me a house like this." The result is a structure that stands 25 feet tall and 48 feet long, shaped perfectly like a giant work boot. But don't let the exterior fool you. This isn't just a giant billboard, it's a fully functional home. The house features 5 levels, including a living room located in the toe, a kitchen in the heel, and 2 bedrooms in the ankle. It even has a stained glass window in the entrance that features a portrait of Mahlon Haynes himself. Originally, Haynes used the house as a promotional guest house, inviting couples to stay for a weekend of luxury. Today, it remains a beloved landmark of American novelty architecture, attracting visitors who want to step inside a piece of history and see what life is like inside the world's most famous piece of footwear. Moving on to the rolling hills of Messina, Italy, we find a house that proves you don't have to stay in one place to feel at home. This is Villa Girasole, or the Sunflower House. Completed in the 1930s, this mechanical marvel was decades ahead of its time. As the name suggests, the house functions just like a sunflower. It can rotate 360 degrees to follow the sun throughout the day. Built on a massive circular base with a complex system of diesel engines and railway tracks, the entire upper structure can complete a full rotation in about 9 hours. The architect, Angelo Invernizzi, dreamed of a home that could maximize natural light and change its scenery at the touch of a button. Imagine having breakfast with a view of the mountains and dinner overlooking the valley without ever leaving your dining table. While it was a feat of engineering, it was also a poetic lifestyle choice, allowing the residents to sync their lives with the rhythm of the sun. Even today, the rotating house stands as a symbol of Italian innovation, showing us that with a little bit of machinery, a house can be as dynamic as the world around it. For our 9th stop, we travel to the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania to visit what many consider the most famous private residence in the world, Fallingwater. Designed by the legendary Frank Lloyd Wright in 1935, this house didn't just win architectural awards, it redefined how humans coexist with the environment. Most architects would build a house with a view of a waterfall, but Wright did something far more daring. He built the house directly on top of it, using a series of bold, cantilevered concrete balconies that seemed to float over the rushing water of Bear Run. Fallingwater is a masterpiece of organic architecture. The sound of the falls isn't just something you hear outside. It's the constant, soothing soundtrack to life inside the house. Natural rock formations from the site were incorporated into the interior design, with the living room floor even featuring a boulder that the house was literally anchored to. Wright wanted the residents not just to look at nature, but to live within it, feeling the rhythm of the water and the pulse of the forest in every room. It remains a timeless example of how a building can be both a luxurious sanctuary and a humble extension of the earth itself.
We saved the most heart-pounding design for last. Heading to the rugged coastline of Victoria, Australia, we encounter the Cliff House, a concept that pushes the boundaries of engineering and courage. While most houses are built on top of land, this one is designed to hang off the side of a vertical granite cliff, much like a barnacle clings to a ship's hull. This 5-story modular home is literally suspended over the ocean, held in place by a series of massive steel pins driven deep into the rock face. Entering through the top floor at the cliff's edge, you descend through the levels via an elevator or stairs, with each floor offering floor-to-ceiling glass walls. Living here means having an unobstructed 180-degree view of the horizon, where the line between the sky and the sea completely disappears. The lowest level features an open-air deck that feels like you're floating directly above the crashing waves below. It's a home designed for those who aren't afraid of heights and who want to experience the raw, untamed power of the ocean every single second. It's the ultimate expression of living on the edge, literally. From the prehistoric stone house in Portugal to the gravity-defying cliff house in Australia, we've traveled across the globe to see how imagination can turn a simple shelter into a world-class wonder. These 10 homes prove that architecture isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about the human spirit's refusal to be confined by the norm. Whether it's living inside a giant shoe or perched over a waterfall, these creators dared to dream differently. But now, I want to hear from you. If you had to pick just one of these houses to live in for a month, which one would it be? Would you choose the peaceful sound of the waterfall at Fallingwater, or are you brave enough to spend a night hanging off a cliff in Australia? Let me know your pick in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this architectural journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Mr. Benz-Audi. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to bring you more incredible stories from around the world. Click the notification bell so you never miss our next adventure. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The footage and images used are from open-source materials and Creative Commons. This content follows the fair use guidelines of YouTube, utilizing transformative editing and commentary to provide original educational value to the viewers.